So I was recently told that I don't need therapy anymore by my therapist. And I don't know how this goes along with everything else because my psychiatrist says that I need to have a therapist. And it's only been a couple weeks that I've been with this person. And they're like, yep, you don't need me. You probably need someone to follow your case more closely. And, you know, I don't even know what's going on or why she said that and why my psychiatrist told me that I should get a different one or who's right in the situation. Well, I was using BetterHelp just because it was most convenient, and I was like, whatever. I can't find anyone that's available near me right now. I'm just gonna do this, and it's easier. And it was. It's more expensive, I think, than using like insurance or whatever, but I was just like, I need this quick. So I did that. But then she goes, yeah, I don't think you need therapy, Cynthia. And I'm just like, um, what? What do you mean I don't need therapy? Like, clearly I have stuff going on in my life that just isn't very good, and things that I want to improve, and things that I think she could help me with it. And she just was like, you don't need me. You don't need me anymore. You probably need someone to follow you, like, long term. And I'm like, okay. And she just like ended the call and she was like, okay, go talk to your psychiatrist about that. And I was like, okay, I will do that. And it was this morning that I talked to him. He was like, oh yeah, it seems like BetterHelp people only do short term stuff. And I was like, well, it would have been good to know this before I went through all the trouble of trying to find her after having a very bad therapist. Also, by the way, I'll tell you about that later. That therapist was absolutely terrible. One of them, the one that I just talked to that told me that I didn't need her, I liked her, and it's kind of sad that she told me that we shouldn't see each other anymore because I don't need to pay for her. It's very sad. But yes, basically he's like, yep, they only do short term, and that's why she said I needed a long term one. So now I'm back to trying to find a therapist. Mostly because my psychiatrist thinks I really need one. I personally haven't found one that's been able to help me with what I feel I need or even find something for us to work on. It's mostly just, oh yeah, here's where I'm at and here's where I'm going. And yeah, that's what happened in the last week. And then it's like an hour goes by and a bunch of money, and it's just like, why did I just do that? Sort of thing. I don't know. I haven't personally found a therapist since my first one that I had when I was really young that helped me with anything because I feel like the stuff that I know about bipolar and about myself is better than what anyone could tell me to do any given time. It's like I feel like I know myself better to know what I need. I don't need a therapist to be like, this is how you do things. I mean, if it was related to other stuff like to school or a relationship or, you know, relationships with my parents or whatever, then it'd be different. But it's like, I don't know. Anyway, going back to the other first therapist I had on BetterHelp, I would be careful when using BetterHelp because it often pairs you at first with someone that's not very good. Like, he could not do anything for me. He would start the session with, what would you like to talk about today? What would you like to do today? And I'd be like, I don't know, like, my life is fine. And that's what I did. And he had no leading questions. And when I would tell him, he would be like doing his little script thing where it was like, oh, is this right? And then he would repeat back to me what I just said without really like giving me any input or like literally any response. He would just be like, oh, am I getting this right? And then go on, sort of thing. And I was just like, this is so dumb. um so when I finally decided that I was going to switch off of him because there's no reason for me to be paying that much for him, I found another lady and she was a lot better. She asked those leading questions. She gave me little, what do you want to call it, like sympathy and, suggestions and just, like a therapist should. So that was better. And then she outright told me that I didn't need her anymore. So now I'm back to trying to find someone. So I guess my whole takeaway from this is if you're bipolar and you're looking for a therapist, don't look for the kind that is only short term treatment like the stuff online is. Because when you're bipolar, you could be doing really well for many months, but it's still important that you see someone to like keep tabs on you because things could go downhill like any moment. And when things do go downhill, then you should probably be talking to someone, and it's good to already have someone that knows you well. Someone to be able to see, like, oh, it looks like you're getting a little manic or whatever. Like someone who knows you and knows when you're acting differently or whatever. So, I don't know. For me, I guess it's a lesson learned. My therapist from BetterHelp told me I don't need her anymore. And my psychiatrist is like, you do need someone. So I'm just, sitting here looking for someone new, I guess. I'll update you guys on this when I do find a therapist and see what's going on with that. In the meantime, hopefully I'll be uploading other videos, but I'll see you guys next time.